How's it going, mates? This is Mrjacharles. We're back. We're back with Clannad. We're back with that visual novel that will never end. Not on my watch. Not if I can help it. I'm gonna make 1,000,000 of them. 1,000,000 parts. It's gonna happen. Who wants to be a millionaire? But instead of money, or something people actually want, I'm just gonna make a surplus of episodes. I guess. Alright, well previously, we were dealing with Capet and the fact that, the kid's got a leg cancer, osteokarma, not very nice. So now, we're going to visit him, and we're going to convince him to cut off his legs, like a good boy. Personally think that might not be the best of ideas, but, it's not going to be the best of times, I meant. It is the best of ideas to try and save his life, it's just, the execution is going to be, interesting, to say the least. Alright, on our next day off, Mrjacharles and I have come to the hospital in the next town. This feels different. This feels potentially, deadly. Tap, 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 walking across the room. With a nervous look on me, the two of us walked down the hallway next to each other. Mrjacharles said he didn't want to come. Yes, he can't be forced to. Not that I blame him or anything, but, Kid didn't give Mrjacharles any real respect. Well, I suppose he doesn't want to see Capet looking feeble and weak. I don't think I want to see that, but I'm going to have to, aren't I? I'm sorry. No, I don't mind. Rather, there are a couple of things I want to tell him. Right? Thank you very much. Do you come visit him every day? Yes. What a surprise, being the bedside lover kind of thing. I see. That must be rough. No, it's not that big of a deal. After all, it is Capet-san who is having it the roughest. Yeah, you're right. Oh, when we talk, do you want to be there? No, if possible, could you talk to him by yourself? I think there are things that are easier to say between just guys. I mean, that's nice and respectful. I'm actually surprised. 9 out of 10 women would be like, no, I need to know everything about my other half. Because, they could be trying to sleep with him or something, aren't they? Got it. Well, it's not something I can force her to do. After that, we quietly walked towards Capet's room. The sound of our shoes tapping against the linoleum floor makes me feel as though we left something behind when we came here. As the number of steps we take increases, so does my uneasiness. Okazaki-kun. A few steps behind me, Mrjacharles has stopped. I looked at the door next to her. Room number 307. On the plate, the patient's name is written. Capet Hiiragi. I can't help but just stare at the door. And once again, I come to think, so he really is sick. Can I really persuade him? Probably, but I don't know, it could still be a no, which would be, tragic. This is a heavy responsibility. She looks uneasy. No, rather, she is uneasy. She looks at me, her eyes imploring me to help. But please. Yeah, I'll try my best. Just saying that is already exhausting. Oh, do I really want to see this? Is he going to be literally dead or something? Knock, knock. Yes. Clatter. Well, this is a lovely sight. Clearly on the bed. Clearly a nice little visual model there. Hey! In the room, Capet is sitting on his bed looking at me. I can't see him there. I mean, I can see him here, but, looks more like he's standing. IMO. Right? Unlike the Capet that I know, he feels more frail, and he has gotten thinner. Tomoe-kun, why? It's been a while. Yeah, a long time no see. This really is a surprise. How did you know where to find me? Mrjacharles told me. Ryo-san did? Yeah. So that means you know everything, right? Yeah. Well, this is troublesome. Why? Why aren't you having surgery? Could it be that you're here to persuade me? Yeah! I see. He sighs and looks toward the door. He's probably noticed that Mrjacharles is there. Tomoe-kun, anyway, take a seat. It must be tiring to keep standing. Yeah. As instructed, I grabbed the folding chair laying next to the bed. I spent more time than necessary to check the area where I am sitting and take my seat. Capet is staring at me. Hey, Tomoya-kun, since you heard about this from Ryo-san, that must mean you also know... I think I just heard a human being in my room. What the fuck? Hello? That was really scary. I'm going to listen back to that. It's going to be like someone crawling in the room and saying, I'm going to murder you. Alright. I'm going to pray that was only my iPad because I just got scared shitless there. Okay. Right. Since you heard about this from Ryo-san, that must mean you also know why I'm not having surgery, right? It's because you can't stand losing your legs, right? I know that would be very tough too, but there isn't anything that's more important than life, no? Gently and quietly his head shakes. I'm sorry. It's just as important as my life to me. Why? When you die, it all comes to an end, you know? These legs are everything to me. I can get behind that. That's... Does it have to do with track and field? That's really a surprise. I didn't think you would possibly know. I just happened to be reading about it in a magazine. What a coincidence. A magazine? Yeah, they had a feature on old inter-high school tournaments. They called you the tragic sprinter. I see. That sure brings back memories, he says sadly as he looks at his knees. Yeah, I guess it's better than I tell you. He looks away from the door, glancing quickly at me, only to look back immediately afterward. Tomoya-kun, I am an orphan. What a surprise. I'm not surprised, but okay, go on. When he said that, what he said comes as such a shock. I look at Capet. How is this shocking? Why do you think the guy can't do his fucking resume and he's homeless at the beginning? What did you expect? Like he had like a family that neglected him or some shit? His expression is calm, but his eyes have a hint of loneliness behind them. From what I was told, I was abandoned in front of an orphanage soon after I was born. He then continues. There are a lot of kids like that there. So many that it made us wonder if kids like us had a reason to exist. But I think I'm still better off than most of them though. That's because I was abandoned without knowing the warmth of parents, the warmth of family. There are those people, those who were treated cruelly by their parents and in the end were sent to the orphanage. No, actually, I would say that was the case more often than not. We were all born without anything, without being given anything, as lives that were never blessed. We were pitiful existences who were denied the ability to live life. One day, people from the TV station came to the facility. It was some kind of documentary program, the kind where a musician went around to places where his fans are. Is that musician someone who does street lights at the moment? Why do I have a feeling we're going back to that kid? Okay, then Mr. Burns' fingers aren't helping. It's somebody whom I liked and often listened to. It really just hit me what it means to be alive. That's the kind of song it is. Back then, I managed to talk to that musician, and he told me that even if it's just one thing, I should find something that I can believe in and push forward. For him, it was the music, or it was music. That's what he told me. He was really convincing. I could see for myself the kind of strength believing in one single thing gives. Then, I started to think, what is it that I can believe in? What is it that I can take pride in? What is the one thing that I have that will give me courage and hope like it did to that person? Then it came to me. He places his hand on his knees. That I have these legs! As far back as I can remember, I never lost to anyone when it came to running. That's why I thought about running. Run and run faster than anyone. This guy's gonna get let down when he actually, finds someone faster than him or taller than him. I'm just saying, Olympic material? Yeah, I don't know. I ran all on my own strength. And then I was praised by a lot of people. They recognized me as an individual. I felt truly alive. It was without a doubt the most fulfilling period of my life. I loved running. Since I had nothing else, it was the one thing I could take pride in. It was everything to me. That's why when I found out about my disease, I died. Well, you're still alive now, aren't you? Okay, maybe I'm being a bit of a dickhole. Look, I'm just going to say it now. This is just so obviously trying to be a tearjerker. It's trying too hard. This is a try-hard scenario. Hence why I'm not getting emotional. Without sounding like a heartless bastard, I don't care. Because, I don't know. I haven't really developed a bond with this guy. And it was obvious from the beginning I shouldn't really get into him. I don't know, I'm just saying, if it was like Tomoyo or some shit, then yes, I would be heartbroken. But it's not, is it? It's just so painfully on the nose. You died. You're... I love how he comes to the same conclusion as I did. You're alive, aren't you? No, I can't run anymore. I don't know what gives my life meaning anymore. Capay. Instead of living, I'm waiting for death. I just wanted to spend the time I have left. The very limited amount of time I have with these legs. By taking painkillers, even if I can't run, I can still manage to walk. That's why I started traveling from place to place by walking. Then, I reached this town and met you, Tomoyo-kun. And Ryo-san too, he says and looks at the door. What about that Fujibayashi? Eh? If you die, she's not going to be able to stand back up. Can't living for her sake become the thing that supports you? It can't. Great. Really nice guy. Really good boyfriend we got here. Without legs and being dependent, it's only going to cause Ryo-san problems. I will only become a burden to her. That's... Tomoyo-kun? Can't you still be together with the person you love, even knowing that it'll make things difficult for her? Well, in this playthrough, we're a heartless bastard, so haha. Capay. That's the answer. In that case, why did you even go out with her? If you knew it would make her sad, why did you try to spend time with her? Yeah, you're exactly right. I always just go with my feelings at the time. It's a bad habit of mine, seriously. I'm sorry. But sadness is something that can be healed with time. It was like that for everyone back at the orphanage too. How can he say such sad things with eyes like that? With eyes that look like he's come to understand everything. Even so, I want you to live on. Tomoyo-kun. There's no way I could silently watch as a friend of mine dies, is there? Friend? Even he's in disbelief here. That's right, you were the first to call us friends, no? Even though you still have a chance to live, to give that up. Running isn't everything to you, is it? I don't know the you who ran. The Capay Hiiragi that I know is a guy who's selfish and does things as he pleases. A guy who doesn't get along with people well. He talks about weird stories about the past. Sometimes he talks like a poet. Sometimes he dashes right at you. My friend is that kind of guy. Thanks. Tomoyo-kun, thanks. That's right. Tomoyo-kun only knows the Capay Hiiragi as I am right now. Even though you didn't know about my past, you still came to meet me and told me that I'm your friend. I'm really happy. So, I'm sorry. Capay! Sorry. Ah! Oh, God. We're going to let this guy die then, are we? Oh, good. Yep. All of the dots. Oh, God. I sit down on the bench. My head hangs. So we're going to let him die. Well, that's the first shock I've had of this story, I suppose. Fujibayashi is sitting next to me, but doesn't say a thing. I cannot bring myself to speak either. In the end, I couldn't persuade Capay. The kid who knows nothing just explained what it means to live. Hearing him say all that makes me truly realize how feeble I am, I suppose. After I leave the room, Fujibayashi starts crying. When I tell her I'm sorry, she shakes her head and apologizes instead. Over and over, she apologizes. Okazaki-kun. Hearing a quiet voice, I raise my head. Could you lend me your chest for just a little? Fujibayashi, please. Just a moment is fine. Given the circumstances, I cannot refuse. I open my arms slightly, and not a moment later, she has leaped into my chest. Like a rabbit. Like an animal. Oh god, yeah, I'm using the same sprite, are we? Yeah, crying. Her voice pierces through my chest. I'm really making this dramatic and heartfelt, aren't I? Just by not even being asked with all the fucking crying going on in this. Her tears are heavy. The tiny hands that she's gripping my clothes with. Her slender, trembling shoulders. The tears that run down her cheeks. In my arms, everything is filled with sorrow. Naturally, I tighten my grip. I hug Fujibayashi's trembling body tightly. That's because if I don't do that, I might start crying myself. At the very least, while I am here to keep her calm, I cannot cry. I must not cry. My eyes vibrate. To hold my tears back, I look up. What's happening? Somebody is walking this way. No, that's not it. It's not that he's coming toward us. It looks like he is checking something. He keeps looking up and down. Guess this'll need to be fixed eventually too. It's a voice that I heard somewhere before. Yusuke Yoshino. Yep. Why am I not surprised? Musician to the rescue. So is this guy gonna save the guy's life? Is this guy gonna visit that hospital? I guess we'll see that in the next episode. I mean, like, I'm not surprised, but I suppose I kind of expected him to, like, just appear in the hospital at some point. I don't know, like, again, the story's going somewhere. We'll probably save his life and then we'll get the orb. Good, great, I guess. I should be more emotional, but I'm not. I have no heart. I've lost it. I sold it on some kind of auction site, I suppose. But hey, if you want to play the game for yourself, see if you can save this guy's life. I keep doing that just to wave my swish and flick Wingardium Leviosa this. Alright, well, there'll be a link to the game in the description down below. Without further ado, the book scratch out. It's time. See ya!